All right. Good morning, another beautiful day. Gonna pop open the daily chart and the 1 hour chart on SPY here. Look at where we're at. Wow. We had another pre-market, post-market from yesterday where we just continue this uptrend. We topped out here at about 447.5. That to me is a very obvious level to watch. Yesterday's high. So that's one to watch. If we pull back, we could look at something happening here. Another one that I could potentially see is like somewhere in here, this 447 flat. And the reason that you can see that, or the reason why I am looking there, is resistance. Couldn't close above it. Resistance. Okay, we come down, we bounce off this 445 level add. That would have been a nice trade to catch, but that was a little bit later in the day than when I was trading. But in the pre-market, you can see we come up, kind of touch it, break above it, support, support, support above it, almost come down and touch it again, come down and touch it again, and now we're up. So this range, this like 50 cent, not even 50 cent, about a 39 cent range for potential bounce. And then I still have that 450 level for rejection up here. And if you're wondering where that 450 level came in, I was looking at the daily chart, and you can kind of see this, resistance. It's in this channel, resistance again, breaks above it, acts as support, acts as support, acts as support, acts as support, resistance, resistance, resistance. So that 450 and just a big whole number like 450 is definitely going to be a psychological number. Generally like these whole numbers, 445, 450, 430, like they play out to be pretty important. Pretty much always, like I just line this up to look at like where these were bouncing. 426 pretty much on the dot. Excuse my voice, I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Yep. So that's what I'm looking for. We are in this continued uptrend. So most likely what I'm looking for is a pullback to one of these levels and a bounce. If we don't get that, what I might look for is some like intraday levels. Say we are watching like a 5-minute. So something like this is post-market, but you can still tell, we set a new high, new low, come up, new high, we pull back and we kind of test that previous high and then bounce from there. So if we don't get any of these levels, then what I will probably look for is some intraday levels. Like if we set a new high, pull back, breakthrough, I'm looking for the next pullback to retest that previous high. I do see in the pre-market this looks like a pretty touchy little level right here. I mean, we have yet to break through it. I guess we set that high there on a huge volume spike. But that'll be interesting to see if we can bust through that. We might just open up, fail to break that, pull back down, and go higher from there. That would be textbook. That would be wonderful. And as I say that, it looks like we might break through it right here. But yeah, that is the plan. We're chilling. We are looking for a pullback into one of these levels. If not, then we're just gonna watch it and see what she does. There was no data really being released today in terms of things to look out for. I'm looking at MarketWatch's economic calendar here, and we had some data come in for initial jobless claims, producer price index. All of those kind of came in bullish. Jobless claims were fewer than anticipated. Producer price index was lower than anticipated. So that's probably why we have this. I guess that was at 6:30, so about an hour ago. Yeah, I don't know if it had much effect on this pre-market movement, but things are coming in. Looks like inflation might be slowing down. Economy still seems pretty resilient with jobless claims being lower than anticipated. So if we boost, it wouldn't surprise me. We've been continuing to boost. Playing some lo-fi here. I listened to my stream yesterday and realized that my audio on both my voice and the music was super low. So it's hard for me to tell what the audio sounds like in real time since I'm not listening to my own stream. But I just increased things a bit, and hopefully that's a bit more, a bit better in terms of the quality of the audio. So we set a new high here. Looks like we're on touch that 448. We're on probably open up right around 448, which is an interesting place to be, like opening right at a psych level, like a whole number. There it is, 448. Yeah, pretty interesting. I'll pull up the SPY options. Whoa, hey now. Options, SPY. I don't trade same day. And as far as calls, I'd probably look for 448 because my thesis is still pull back in these levels, rip to 448. So we're looking at 448 calls. Puts, I usually, just a little background, I usually have a call option up here and a put option down here. So based on what we're doing, I can kind of adjust accordingly. And then if I want to change my strike, then I can just pull up this menu and it's super easy. But that way I'm not having to like mess around. I know that this one's always a call option, this one's always a put option. As far as puts, I don't know, I'll put 447, but I'm not planning on playing puts right now, unless we get up to that like 450. So we open right around 448, we're pulling back. I am going to look for a bounce around these levels, so we'll see. I've been meaning to try out like limit buys rather than buying market. I've just noticed in some of these, like especially when you get a bounce, say you have this red candle coming down into this level, option premium's down quite a bit. As soon as it bounces, like I'm gonna set a buy. See, but that's the problem there. I think I'm just and I don't have a position open, do I? Nope. So yeah, I just missed out on that bounce. That's a bummer, dude. So maybe setting the limit is not the move. I literally just missed my whole play. We'll see. We'll see if it comes back. But Jesus, that's a flop right there, dude. That's like a $20 move. Ugh, that's such a bummer, dude. All right. Well, I gave it a shot. It didn't work. I guess that's the weird thing is I had a buy limit that was above the strike price. So I feel like that would get filled pretty instantly. Like it's above the ask. Jeez, man, this is so hard to just watch. This is literally textbook of what I wanted to happen, and I just didn't get in it. Oh, it's killing me. Damn. Well, don't do that, I guess. That literally... Oh my gosh, dude. This is so hard to watch. My play is just working out perfectly in front of my eyes, and I just missed it. I just didn't get a fill. Oh, fuck. That's so frustrating. I can't even lie. I'm not gonna... I mean, what do I do now? Just wait for the next opportunity. But look at this. It touched that level exactly, and it's ripping. I need some, like, medication, dude. Oh, my God. Are you serious? Well, I missed it. I am in absolute disgust. I'm just gonna go ahead and say fuck buy limit orders. I'll just buy market, whatever. If I get a fill, it's a few dollars off. Jeez, it's not worth it to miss your entire move. I would have been set for the day. Insane. This is so hard to watch. Well, at least my thesis was literally 100% correct. Like, absolutely on point, pretty much to the T. If I got in when I was trying to get in, there had been a zero drawdown and just ridiculously nice trade right in the first less than 5 minutes of the day. So that's a bummer, but I'll be all right. There's always another day, another trade to take. And the biggest lesson to learn there is not to FOMO into it. I missed it, and you just gotta accept it. I mean, I probably could have got in on either way, though. I'm not gonna FOMO into it. But just watching this do exactly what I wanted it to and missing out on it is tough. Not gonna lie, that hurts my feelings. So I guess, because I would like to use buy limits, because I have been screwed by buying market and just getting a terrible fill. I mean, my only other play really is a rejection at 450. We'll see what it does intraday. We might get, a series of higher lows, lower highs, retests previous highs. I could take a play off that. But this is just ridiculous, man. Look at this. Look at how this contract is moving. That's exactly what I wanted. I'll shut up about it now, I promise. I'm just butthurt. But you can see here on the hourly chart how I found this level, 447.5 pretty much. It was the very top of yesterday's. Whoa, that was crazy. Why did we just zoom in on the wrong day? It was the very top of yesterday's price action, like yesterday's peak price. So the fact that we opened above that range, come down and retest, that's like a beautiful, wow, we're in an uptrend. We're in an uptrend. We're opening above yesterday's high. We come back, retest yesterday's high, and rip from there. Like, you can't get a more textbook trade than that. And then I had this other level 447 for two reasons, because it's just a whole number, 447 rather than 447.5, but also you can see resistance here, acted as support a few times in here. So if we didn't bounce off this, if we broke through here, that would be my next like sure bet. If we broke through there, we would probably be in a downtrend. But yeah, we're just sitting on our hands because I missed my entry, and the market does not wait for anybody. So just, that's a bummer, man. That was a beautiful play. I've been wanting to try the buy limit though. I tried it. I'm not sure I like it. Not sure I like it at all. I'm assuming like I'll take all fault for that. It is nobody's fault but my own. I assume I just need to get more familiar with it. If I could get it down to where I can actually get a fill and not just sit on the sidelines, that'd be great. Because I would love to be able to get just like slightly more precise fills, better fills. It would help with profits and it would help with losses as well. Because say it bounces, and my fill's $5 higher than where I wanted it, and then it reverses and it hits my stop loss, like that's just another $5 that I lost, just due to where you get your fill. So lessons learned. We are continuing to push higher. We might hit that 450 today. We're only $1.5 away. And since we are in locally, there's no we haven't even reached this point recently. If I look at a day chart here, we haven't been this high since spring of 2022. So there's not a lot for me to really look at in terms of resistances. I guess this is a decent one you could look at, right in here. That's 447. We're already above that, and that makes sense because you can see 447 we kind of rejected off of a couple times. We broke above it, broke below, retested 447, fell, and you can see that 447 right here. We support there, resistance there. I guess that's more like 448. But resistance on that day. So that would have been a good one to watch out for as well. Alright, where are we here? So we have a new high. Dude, this is a ripper of a day. Yeah, we just are wanting to send it higher, I guess. It's alright by me. If we come up and touch this and it rejects, I'd be happy to at least get that. And I'd be remiss to miss it. So, holy moly, I scrolled way too far. Is there a way? As far as I know, double clicking is the only way to reset. I don't know if there's one shortcut to being able to get to your current day. I need to look into that. But here we are. I don't have any other trade planned besides a potential rejection at 450. That was about as textbook as it could get. That pullback to yesterday's high, retest of yesterday's high, and rip. I hope somebody got it because that was a nice play. So it looks like volume's kind of falling. Kind of struggling to break this recent high. You could look for a potential pullback to like this level, you know, this like previous pre-market high, 448, nice whole number. Not something that I would necessarily trade, but you could scalp, maybe like a 50-cent scalp. You might make a little bit of a profit, nothing crazy. I would look at like a 448 put or something. If you copped it down here at like 115, say it comes up to like, yeah, not a great trade. I wouldn't take that. But as you see some weakness, as we fail to break the recent high, drop in volume, that's something that you could look at, just looking strictly at volume and price action. Like I said, not something I'm gonna trade. But if you wanted like to get in and out in a minute or two, take like a little, 10% move or something, you could look at that. While I'm sitting here, I'm going to check the economic calendar for tomorrow. I don't think we're gonna have anything drop on Friday, but let me double check on that. Yeah, we only got a couple things coming in. Well, we have import price index in the morning. That's at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And then at 10 a.m. Eastern time, we have consumer sentiment. And that is 10 a.m., so 30 minutes after open tomorrow. So I might wait for that. I don't know how much of an impact that might have on the market. But when we have those, when we have like economic data releasing, I usually try to avoid trading, at least like being in a trade, an active trade, having a position open when that data drops, because that can cause some volatility. And unless you have some clairvoyance or something to be able to read the future, if you're saying a call, then data comes out and it's bearish and it swings and stops you out, like it's just it's best to not be in an open position when data drops. So you can see here, failure, where's my mouse? Failure to break that high. We're kind of testing it like 3 times here, lowering volume. We might get a pullback. Like I said, not necessarily something I want to trade right here. This isn't part of my plan. But it isn't necessarily like a terrible idea to try that. Excuse me. My throat's a little rough today. I guess I didn't, earlier today oh no, that's not what I want. I had a notification that air quality was low. I'm looking outside, it's a beautiful sunny day, so no clue where that's coming from, but maybe that's the reason my throat's feeling a little rough. And as price action's slowing down here, as we're kind of struggling to move higher, part of me wants to take like a little put and just catch it down to 448. Don't think I will. I think that's just a result of me missing this initial move that I actually wanted. And then just like, there it is. I mean, it would have worked. You could have caught that. I mean, not an insane move, but $20 move or so. Just a retest of the pre-market high. That could have been a super quick scalp. Not super profitable, as you see these contracts didn't move a whole lot. You might get like $10, $12 off that. If it breaks below 448 and continues down, which I'd be surprised, but it could, then I'm sure this contract will move a lot nicer, probably up to like 150. That would be a nice move, but not something I want to bet on, especially if you look at this strong bounce that came off that yesterday's high. And just overall bullish movement up. It's not something I'd really want to bet on. It's like holding a put in this scenario. Also, we're kind of in no man's land. We're in between levels. There's no reason to take that trade besides just being eager to take a trade, which you don't want to do. So we'll see. We'll see if it presents us with an opportunity to take something that I like, but at the moment, nothing really is piquing my interest. Here we are retesting that high again. Be interested to see if we can break through, if we fail to. So 4 continuous touches here, all failures to get higher. That might signal another pullback. I don't know where necessarily we would pull back to. We already bounced off this level, but it does look like there's some some slowing in the buying. I mean, 15-minute chart still looks bullish. You can have like this pin bar. But that's still actively forming, so that could change. But I would be a little wary in terms of trying a put here. It might work out. I mean, we're failing to go higher. volume's kind of dropping down. The most recent high volume has been these two red candles, aside from the opening print. The opening price, I messed that up. The opening candle, first 5-minute candle, has the highest volume. That's pretty typical. But aside from that, the two highest volume candles that we've had since have both been red candles. That's what I was trying to elaborate. And this failure to break higher 4 separate times could signal a pullback. Whether or not you want to take that bet, you know, I mean, if you look at these 4 touches in a row, that could signal, you know, an entry on a little putski. Just for the memes, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try to put a buy limit order and see if it fills. So it filled. I'm gonna have a stop pretty close. My stop is gonna be like a $5 stop. I'm not too confident in this trade. Like I said, it's not really part of my plan. I'll just play around with it and see. It looks like I'll probably get stopped out here if we push higher. Yeah, there it goes. So that was not great, but it seems like the buy limit is a little slow. So if you're trying to catch a bounce, I probably wouldn't recommend it. But I guess that's a good thing to try out. If you're trying to catch like a quick bounce or something, I'm thinking market buying is still the play. Yeah, ideally I would have not taken that small loss, but a $5 loss, whatever. That's a small, you know, gamble. A pretty like low risk trade to take. And I guess as we're failing to break this like 448.5, I probably could have held that a little bit longer. Yeah, we might pull back a bit more. So I just didn't want to put a long leash on that. You know, I didn't want to let that run and take a bigger loss. Like I said, it wasn't part of my plan. It's counter trend. So not really a trade I was really looking for. Just something I figured I'd give a quick shot. I probably could have stayed in it and taken like a small scalp. Yeah. But like I said, I don't regret that. That's just a Oh, what's up, Pablo? What made me miss that entry is I was trying to buy with a limit order rather than a market. In previous days, I'd tried buying market, and my fill was like a few dollars off of where I wanted. And so I was trying to catch it with a buy limit, but as you said, it moved pretty fast, so my order just did not get filled. And so I just watched it happen without me. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, with this current price action, we'll see. We'll see if we hit 450. I'm not sure if we will. We might later in the day, but I appreciate it, Pablo. I hope you have a good day at work. Happy Thursday, and yeah, I'm planning on making some future videos where I go over more of my reasoning behind what I'm doing. But yeah, I appreciate you tuning in, and I wish you luck on your trading as well, my friend. Have a good day. I also work a 9 to 5, by the way, which is I only trade the first hour of the day or so. That's why I come to the chart like after the fact. Like yesterday, I was already off the screen, but it pulled back into that 445 area and bounced. Like that would have been a great trade. But some of these moves happen while I'm away from the screen, unfortunately. But I am thankful that I can trade in the morning when I can, because you can still catch some good trades in the first hour of the day. Probably the best time frame. Absolutely. Another day, another dollar. See you later, friend. Looks like we're kind of struggling to push higher. We're still in this small range right around 448.5, but we still are in an uptrend. So if this breaks and retests, if we break below and say retest 448.5, I might look for a move down. But we still haven't broken this uptrend, so not really looking to take puts. We're kind of just sitting on our hands here, especially with this price action. If you're trying to trade these little 20-cent candles, you're probably just going to get chopped out with theta. So here we broke, actually. If we close below and retest, that would be a pretty interesting move. But we'll have to see where this candle closes. but we do have kind of like this a little bit of a wedge forming here. So either way, if we break out to the upside or break out to the downside, it's something to watch. So as this candle is forming, something interesting to watch. You can see the volume coming in. It's looking like it might break this uptrend and close below. If that does happen, I'm essentially gonna, well, first of all, I'm gonna wait for this candle to close. If it closes below this uptrend that's been happening for the past, pre-market and first 30 minutes of the day, I'm looking for this retest, and I will buy a put on this retest. Retest of the trend. Short-term target is 448. If we hit 448, I'm gonna set a stop in profit and see if we can't come down to this 447.5. My assumption is that we come down in here, and that would probably be the first area that we potentially could bounce from. So you see that starting to make a move. This contract's actually moving a little better than I expected for this small of a price action. So here we come. I could take this. Part of me wants to take it and just secure it. So yeah, I think I'll do that. That's kind of the dilemma when you're trading one contract at a time. Is normally I would trim there and leave a runner, and set a tighter stop, maybe around break even or a little bit in profit. But with one contract, say it bounces, we have had a lot of bullish momentum the past, week or more. Holding counter to the trend could play out, unfortunately. You could be in profit, it could bounce and stop you out. So it did what I expected. We broke that trend, we retested the trend, and I took profit at 448, which was the pre-market high. That pretty much worked out to a T. Not a huge trade, but I did make back the small loss that I took when I was playing around up here. And as you can see, it's still early in this candle, so we'll see how it closes. But it is bouncing pretty much exactly off that 448 level. So that's a quick little scalp you could have caught. I mean, the movement was nothing. It was, what, 30-cent move, but I think my fill was 117, and I got out at like 125, 126 or something. So, like I said, super small move, but it happened in like a minute or two. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's now below my entry price, so look at how fast that changed. You know, that's why I didn't want to hold on to that, and I did take my profit at 448. It did break this short-term uptrend, but overall we're very bullish lately. So I wasn't necessarily looking to hold a put there. And that's not to say that it couldn't, you know, come up and retest 448.5 or something and then break down further. But as I'm sitting here, I'm glad that I played that trade as I did. I mean, technically we are still in an uptrend. You know, we have this higher high. This could be considered a higher low. So the trend is your friend. Try not to fight it. If you are going to take a counter trend play, my advice would be to have an idea of where you're going to take profits and don't get greedy and try to hold it. If you have more than one contract, you can take profits and set runners, set your stop loss at break even, for example, and that's a pretty safe play. But yeah, I would have felt kind of silly holding this now, seeing what it's doing here. We got a pretty strong bounce off 448. Also, it's just like a small move. Just a super quick scalp. I essentially just wanted to secure a small win to negate that small loss that I took. Now what I'm really watching for is if we can break above 448.5, kind of that local, today's high. If we can break above and then retest this level, because you can see we have like a lot of confluence up here. If we can break above and then retest this level and continue up, that'd be a nice play that I'd look for. But you just gotta be patient and see if that plays out. And we did retest that 448.5 level. Struggling to break through it still. So if we could push through that, that would be like if we busted through on a nice green candle, that would show probably a nice continuation to the upside. and then a pullback to this level to retest, that'd be a beautiful entry for a call. But we'll see. So there's some movement coming in on the reject of 448.5. We'll see if it breaks through 448. If so, it could come down to one of these levels. And that wouldn't have been a bad trade. Taking the retest of that level, taking a put. That would have been nice, like 20, a little less than $20 move, like $17 at the current premium. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I don't feel comfortable holding a short in this market unless we come up to this 450. If we come up to that 450, I'd feel pretty comfortable taking a put position and holding a little bit longer for a pullback. But right now we're kind of in this in-between zone between levels where we don't have any strong reason to take a trade one way or another. Like I said, unless we break this local high, if we break above that, that gives me a pretty good reason to take a pullback into that area. Look for a call if we pull back. But kind of this choppy movement, like you can see the past, I mean, besides the first candle of the day, we've just been chopping around in this like 50-cent range, which you could scalp. I did take that quick scalp in here. There is, a little bit of money to be made if you're in and out quick, but it can be risky because some of these little scalps, like it's very determinant on your entry price. So if you buy market, you get a bad fill, it bounces, and it can go the opposite way really fast. So a little bit more tricky, less forgiving. So that's why I'm kind of just sitting on my hands here. Another retest of this 448 level. These red candles though, coming in at lower volume. It would be nice if these had a bit more like separation. It just kind of gets this like blue blob. You can read it, but as we pull back into the support, the volume's dying. We could see a reversal. It'd be interesting if Neo started to try to sell in the US. You could look to scalp a quick call off this 448 here. As you can see, it's been a pretty good support. Bounced off it a few times. I'm not going to take it, but you could look to take one. Maybe try to go up to like 448.5. Like I said, I'm not going to take it. I don't love it. But it does look like we might get a little reversal here, at least in the short term. You scalp it for a quick gain. Set a tight stop, just in case we do break below it, because if we break below it, we're coming down here for sure. So we did break it, and there we go. We're starting to fall. So potentially taking that put off a retest, you know, break of the uptrend, retest the previous high. That wouldn't have been a bad move at all. But yeah, we'll see how this plays out. If we come back down into this level, I might try to take another call position. But man, you see it. It's having a hard time breaking that 448. just like that. I mean, it showed some serious like selling. It's reversing pretty quick. Yeah, there it goes. We'll see. It's been definitely been kind of choppy in terms of price action. If you caught this move off the open, that was a pretty nice play. You could have caught a put off this break of the the uptrend and retest. You could have made a nice little move off that. But there's been a lot of chop in between. Yeah, so still just kind of bouncing around at that 448 level. Nothing really here for me to trade. I'm looking for, if we do break that, I'm looking for a bounce down here. If we can rally, which looks a little unlikely, and break above today's high, I'd look for potential pullback. But right now we're just hanging out, seeing where she goes. We are closing in on the first hour of the day, so volume might be drying up a little bit. Price action might continue to be a little choppy. We might get a move midday or power hour in the evening. I guess not really evening, but in the afternoon. but I will not be here for that, so I'll stick around for a little bit longer, probably see how this candle plays out. But I do need to get some breakfast to get to my job, so I probably won't stick around for too much longer. This weekend I'm going to look into some video editing software. I have some free software on my computer, but it's pretty booty, so I'm gonna look into see what the options are out there. I might succumb and just buy Adobe Premiere Pro. But the plan is to condense these live sessions, do a trade review after every day, and then I would go over in a much shorter amount of time, go over, you know, how I find my levels, what I was looking for, why I did or didn't take any particular trades, my approach to entering and exiting trades. So that's something I want to do this weekend when I have some free time, is to invest a little bit in that. So hopefully next week I will continue to live trade every single morning, but also have a follow-up recap after the day, as kind of an overview of what I was looking for and what I did and why. So here we've broken 448. We're coming up and retesting. That could be a potential entry for a little put, and write it down to the support. So you could have got a put on that retest. That wouldn't have been a bad idea. What are the 447s looking like? 448 perhaps would be. I want to take a quick scalp here. That market buy might have got me though. In terms of my fill is not that great, but we'll see. And basically I'm looking just to scalp it down to here. And it might not, because we've bounced from lower, but we did break below that. This is interesting. Oh, there we go. Alright, so I might close this out soon. It's going against me pretty quick. Yeah, I'm gonna close out of that. So that was really bad. That was a bad trade. Took a loss on it. I'm down overall by a few dollars today. Nothing detrimental. I was about to get off for the day and I took a kind of a riskier trade there. My thought process behind that was 448 was a strong whole number, bounced off it a few times. We finally broke it. We came up for a retest. But yeah, I'm glad I got out because it looks like we might continue to push up. So cut your losses. If it's a losing trade, don't hold it. That was an unnecessary trade. today was a bit of a. Today wasn't the best day. I mean, the trade that I wanted worked out perfectly, and I missed it. I had a small scalp. Tried to small scalp this one, took a loss. Ended up with a small loss on the day of looks like $7. So we live to trade another day. But yeah, I'm off. I wish you all good Thursday, and I'll be back tomorrow morning.